Hey everybody, it's Wendy down at Wejo. I decided to pop on for a quick live. I'm going to see if I can get comments here. There we go. Okay, I hopped on for a quick live to show you Paint Couture's metallic paints with glazing over it because it's just absolutely beautiful. As you know, I do carry Paint Couture, so you can get it online, Wejo Arts Shop, or you can come in and check it out directly in store. And I'm going to get right to it because I'm almost done with this page. I'm kind of hungry and I'm pretty sure my husband's making me dinner. So that's exciting. If you have any comments, just let me know. If I do not see them for any reason, I'll come back to it later. So I've redone this table and I'm going to tip this down for you. I've redone this table a few times over the past year or two. I'm going to actually pick this up and hopefully not lose anything. It's been purple. It's been crackled, it's been pink, and now I am doing this amazing metallic type of look over it. I first painted it with Paint Couture's Midnight Blue. I went over that with their Couture Copper Metallic paint, which you can kind of see a little bit better up here maybe. And I still wasn't overly fond of it. I'm not a bright color person. So I went over it again with some black glaze last night, and I used a cheesecloth and I dabbed at it. I had learned that from Dustin Van Fleet of Van Fleet Designs. He used a white, like a tack cloth. I decided I wanted the texture of a cheesecloth. So I'm going to flip the camera over to this and let you see how I did it. So the first thing you want to do when you're working with the glaze is to do them in layers. I usually let it sit overnight, just so you know. Partly because I like to make sure that that glaze is really on there so I don't pull anything up. Hey Donna! So I don't pull anything up when I do the next layer. And also just because I'm a squirrel and do 80 million different projects at once. So let me flip this camera a little bit without making anybody too dizzy. To do it, you just need to have whatever metallic paint that you want. I used, again, the Couture Copper. I have already put on, sorry you guys getting extreme close-ups here. I have already put on the black chiffon. That's like a nice, really pretty black glaze. And everything except for the top here is done already with the amber honey overlay. This stuff is like pudding. It's a glaze, but it's like pudding. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera so that way you can see. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Denise. So let me just poke it down to the table here. I'm on my own, so hopefully nothing goes flying. So to glaze something like this, all you have to do, let me see where the camera's at. Over here. Right. Okay. Is you're just going to swipe it on. I'm just using a basic chip brush for this, nothing fancy. I am going to do it in small sections, only because I don't want it to get too tacky. Remember, there's another glaze underneath this. You're going to take your cheesecloth, and you're just going to start tapping. Roll your cheesecloth every once in a while just to get a fresh little area. Your hands get very messy during this. If you don't like messy hands, wear gloves. I never wear gloves. I never remember to, unless I'm working with epoxy. You don't want to rub it because you will end up pulling a little bit up, and you don't want to do that. You just want a nice, banged out, soft look. So you can kind of see a little bit here where I rubbed it by accident. I'll go back into that on Wednesday when I come back into the shop, and I'll fix that then. So I'll put a little bit more on. And with the glaze, it doesn't matter how neat you are because you're taking most of it off anyway. I'm just going to rub up a new little section. Jeanette, top fan. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I wish I knew. So just keep tapping. It's so easy. Just make sure you get down into your edges though, so that way you don't have a clump that you may not see. Usually I'm walking around the table when I do this. I think layering is probably some of the most fun you can have with any paint. It just gives nice layers and details. I'm going to grab a new cheesecloth so I can have it after I do this tap out. You'll see when you're tapping the Paint Couture glaze that you might have little bubbles in it because of the cheesecloth. The cheesecloth is very textured. I'm honored that you are, Jeanette. See how textured it is? I just threw it underneath the table because I'm a slob. And that's okay. You're just going to go back over it and you'll just tap the bubbles back out. And even if they dried like that, it's just a texture. It's not going to create any hardships on the piece. And I'm almost done. It took me about an hour last night with Darcy to do the black glaze. Actually, it was the black glaze plus the copper, the Couture Copper Metallic on most of it because I only had part of it done. And tonight it's taken me probably about a half hour to run the amber honey glaze over it. So it doesn't take long at all. It's just the waiting in between because you want to make sure it cures good and before you do the next layer, at least dries well. And as this dries, it will dry a little bit more translucent, so it'll be a little bit more see-through. Hey, Stacy. So it's not going to be probably as brown. I did a test on the other side the other day to see what it would look like yesterday, and it does dry a little bit more translucent. So a little bit more of that copper and a little bit more of the black will come out. The only thing you gotta watch with cheesecloth every once in a while, a little bit of shedding. And you get really messy hands. So that is all we do. I'm gonna lift the camera up. I apologize if I make you a little dizzy. I don't have anybody here with me today. See if I can angle this camera around so you can see it a little bit better. So it gets this really cool, hopefully you can see it. Hopefully I'm not showing you just a big old mess. It has this really cool, kind of like a hammered effect, I guess you would say. Either way, it's very pretty. For a size, oh, I just turned my thing off. For this size, I have not, this is the first time I've opened the amber honey, so I've used very, very little of it. It doesn't take a lot. The Paint Couture Black Chiffon Glaze, I did use a little bit a while ago, but there's still plenty left in this jar. I had painted this whole piece, the Deep Lake. I got my lids mixed up. I did Deep Lake on this one. I probably typed it wrong because I put the wrong lid on it. So I painted this 3 coats before I decided I didn't like it, and I still have so much paint left. This is acrylic paint. It dries solid. A little bit goes a long way, and I'll show you how much of the metallic I use because I didn't use a lot of the metallic either. I think Stacy, Shauna, and I played with the Paint Couture Copper when we first got it. And I still have almost half a jar, a little under half a jar left. So a little goes a long way. You could do different effects with it. I like it a lot. And it's very messy, and that makes me even happier. So Paint Couture, it's on wejoarts.shop. You can stop in the store. You can check it out there. Once this dries up and I come back in for Wednesday or Thursday when I get a chance to play with it again, I'll get some pretty pictures and I'll put them up and show you guys. So thank you, and you guys have a good Sunday night and enjoy your dinner, because that's what I'm going to go do. Talk to you later. Bye.